Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. In this video we'll be seeing how good Mono Poison is in the OU tier. Let's get into it. I start Glamora and immediately switch to Iron Moth, and they start with Tinglu and immediately switch into Gliscor. I get my Quark Drive and they get their Poison Heal going. I go for the Terra Flying and give him a Fiery Dance. Unfortunately I don't get a boost. He completely whiffs the Earthquake because of my new Flying type. He goes for the Terra Water and completely tanks my Fiery Dance. Thankfully this time I get a boost. He retaliates with the Ice Fang and does big damage. He gets some of his health back, but I'm able to retaliate with the Energy Ball and take out the Gliscor. The next Pokemon is the Dragapult. He goes for the Will-O-Wisp, burns my Moth. I go for the Fire Dance, do a nice chunk, and get another boost. I take a little bit of damage from the burn. He's able to go for the Hex, take out my Moth. My next Pokemon is then the Clodsire. He then switches right back into his Tinglu, gets that Vessel going. I go for the Yawn, make him drowsy. He goes for the double switch, this time into his Samurott Hisui. I decide to set up some Stealth Rocks. He starts dancing with those swords right in front of my face. I go for another Yawn, make him drowsy now. He goes for the Aqua Cutter, takes out my Clodsire in one shot. But then he finally falls asleep over there. I then go into my Sneasler. He switches back into the Dragapult. I decide to start dancing with some swords of my own. Unfortunately, he goes for that Will-O-Wisp and burns my Sneasler. I go for the Dire Claw and he just hangs on. But I get the Lucky Para. I go for another Dire Claw, this time take out the Dragapult. I take a little bit from the burn. He then goes back into the Tinglu, takes some rocks damage, gets that Vessel up. I go for a close combat, he just hangs on. I get the defense lower, but that White Herb makes it all go away. He goes for the Earthquake, takes me out anyways. He gets some lefties back. I then go into my Gengar. Go for the Focus Blast, thankfully connect, take out the Tinglu. He then goes into the Zamazenta, gets that Dauntless Shield up, goes for the Crunch, Gengar just hangs on and gets the Curse Body. I go for the Sludge Bomb, do a little bit to him, take myself out with the Life Orb. My last reveal is a Galarian Slowking. He then switches back into the Sleeping Samurott. My T-Wave does nothing. He's still snoring over there. I go for the Calm Mind, start boosting over here. He's still catching up some Z's. I go for the Sludge Bomb, take out the Samurott. He goes into his Clefable, goes for the knockoff, Slowking eats that right up, lose my lefties, go for the Sludge Bomb, take him out in one shot. His last Pokemon is in the Zamazenta. He goes for the Crunch, Slowking eats that right up, go for the Eerie Spell, take out Zamazenta. Good game. Alrighty, let's get right into Game 2. I start with the Glamora, they start with the Samurott. I go right for the Dazzling Gleam, do that big damage. He goes for the Waterfall, I just hang on, get that Toxic Debris going. I go for another Dazzling Gleam, take out the Samurott. He goes into the Iron Moth, gets rid of those spikes and gets his Quark Drive going. Goes for the Fiery Dance, takes out my Glamora. My second Pokemon is in the Slowking. He goes for the Terrifier, Fiery Dance, does a huge chunk. Slowking hangs on, gives him the T-Wave. He goes for another Fiery Dance, takes out my Slowking, and gets a boost. I then go into my Sneasler, go for the SD right in front of his face. He goes for that Toxic Spikes. I go for the Close Combat, take him out in one shot, and consume the White Herb. The Hisui Alvelug then comes out. I go for another Close Combat, take him out in one shot. Sneasler is a huge threat, and once he gets going, it's hard to stop. He goes into the Blissey. I go for another Close Combat, take him out in one shot. He then goes into the Hisui Gudra. I go for another Close Combat, again, one shot, take him out. His last Pokemon is in the King Gambit. He gets that Overlord boost, doesn't matter. Goes down to one Close Combat. Good game. And that's the video. Please know what you guys think in the comments down below and stay tuned for future content. Peace.